Hello, and I'm back. Sorry. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the mix up of time. Sorry for the sorries. I'm here though. Mustache is here with me. Mustache, you want to come say hi to the people? Because you're so nosy. Come on. Come on. Hey guys, welcome to Ready to Love Super Panel. We're going to get into it tonight. We get it cracking. If you just missed Preparing for Love, me, Kia, and Crystal just had a discussion on family. We will run it back for a part 2 later on because we kind of veered off. I wanted to highlight some of the joys and the highs and the lows of family as far as preparing for love. But now we are talking about last night's episode of Ready to Love. What was it called? I done changed the whole title to it because it was like, eh, whose bags are these? Bedroom scuffles or shuffles, should I say? Ain't nobody get into it yet, but Eagles is rising and stakes are being planted in the ground and or the bed, should I say? And people is making they thing known as they should. I mean, dang it, we are in episode 9, are we not? Should we not be like telling the people who we want to be with by now? Shouldn't we lock it in by now? I don't know. Yes, dogs over cats, I would agree, but I got them both. So it is what it is. I got cats and dogs. So I ain't gonna argue. But anyways, we're gonna get into this I want to keep saying last week. I don't know why. Last night's episode of the show. So come on in, please. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We out here doing big things. Hit that bell notification button so you can be up and knowing when we upload in these videos. We got a whole bunch of different projects coming up, more interviews coming out later on, not just with Ready to Love people, but other things. So I want you guys to be in tune with all these things and people that I know. So I got tea, I got receipts, I got some little stuff, but I don't really drop it like that. But sometimes when I have to build my case, I got it or whatnot. But we're going to get on started tonight. I brought a special guest, and you guys, please welcome her in. She's a little under the weather, but still gorgeous as hell. Okay. It's Sabrina Soul. Hey, love.
Hey, lady, what's going on?
Good. Your camera's a little fuzzy.
Is it? Oh
Yeah,
no.
just a tad bit.
Oh
Let me see.
no.
I'm gonna look on my computer real quick to see if I'm getting the same results because it could just be my screen.
All right, because it doesn't seem like. Let me. I don't have nothing in here.
Give us just a second as we get our lives together, y'all. This
we
how
gonna
us
do this,
Leos.
we gonna do this against the way.
Mhm. This how us Leos get down. Okay, we gonna put y'all on our schedule.
I was about to say that should be. What about
No,
now?
yep, you look good. You look good. You
Okay, good,
no
good.
makeup
My
on
daughter
there.
had my laptop earlier, and let me tell you something.
She's over there
Ain't
kissing
no
the
telling.
laptop.
I'm surprised I got it back and it was still working. So I'm just glad it worked.
She's practicing that new gloss she got. That new gloss line she got.
Or that, or Cheetos on the fingers, one of the two.
Oh yeah, that'll do it every time. Make it
Yeah.
get
What's
through
up,
every
chat?
time.
How's everybody in the chat? Hey, hey, hey.
Y'all show some love to Sabrina. Y'all show some love to me. Show us love. She does a purple hearts. Y'all know I love the lime green. So, throw
Yeah.
us all in there. Come on in, guys. We're gonna get started and get ready. It's not
Yeah.
gonna I'm not gonna try to keep us all night, but we do got to get into some things.
Honey.
Uh, what was your overall thoughts of last night's episode?
My overall thoughts, and excuse me, guys, I am under the weather. I have a little sinus cold. I did my live watch party, and I told everyone pretty much like I don't have the flu, I don't have the C word. But I am sick. Okay, so we still get regularly sick. Like just being sick still happens. So excuse
Yeah.
my voice. I'm talking to you guys. So my overall thought was, I feel like that the interactions, except for maybe one, and the connections are being forced. I
Mhm.
feel like it's giving, are you just trying to make it to the end? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's also giving, when did that connection happen? You know, like it's just giving, yeah, like y'all don't gotta force it. Like it's not that serious. Like y'all pretty much have made it to the end, but don't make it seem like you're gonna hook, because that happened a couple times on my season, you know, where it was like, how they get together? Because here and you do, and y'all together, like you know, like make it make sense to me, you know. And that's what I feel like is happening this season. And I don't know. I love the fact that there was communication between the men. Like they sat down, they chopped it up, they talked it out, like they communicated with each other without being hostile and petty. And you know, I was happy that happened. I did love how like the women, even though I saw in the next season or the next episode it's going to get a little catty, but you know, they came in, they showed respect, love to each other, they hugged each other. Like I love that they showed that part of it with in the show, you know. I just hope that I don't know, I just hope that the people that's supposed to find love are supposed to find love. And from what I see so far, the people that I'm thinking are going to end up together in the end are supposed to be together in the end, because
Right.
that's what they've shown us from the very beginning. And we can talk more about that as we discuss.
Definitely, definitely. Got another old but familiar face around. Hi, Chris. Hey,
Hello.
Chris Nathia. I don't know if you ever met Sabrina, but you know, she was on Kojo's panel. We talked about you several times, Sabrina.
Hi, Sabrina.
Hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful. So good to like see you on the panel. I know I
Yeah,
would see you in the comments. I'd be like, Sabrina. So it's good to see you.
thank you so much. Thank you.
And it's good to see you, Chris, because we ain't seen you in
Thank
a
you.
while, like on
Yes.
here. We know I see
Yes.
you,
It's good
but
to be here.
yes. So, what was your initial thoughts on the episode?
I think usually at this point of the show, we know exactly like who we really feel strongly are going to make it to the end together. And it just seems a little off at this point in the game, I guess. Some of these connections I think are being forced. I think people really want to make it to the end, but I'm not sure if they're really honest about whether or not people are a good match for them. Man, this is tough. So, but it was interesting. It was interesting. I really look forward to who ends up together, because at this point, I think everyone just wants to make sure they have a couple connections so that they don't get eliminated.
I'm sorry, that part right there. I don't know. We already talked to Sabrina. We talked to other people. We know they don't get no real prize at the end of it outside of exposure, you know. And I can see it if you get a little bit more bonus or something, you stay the longer you stay on, like other shows. I think Celebrity Big Brother might be something like that, or you know, some of these other shows that have that process, but this doesn't have that process. So it's just like, I know everybody can't self-eliminate, but it'd be better if we just start being honest and be like, you know what, I really don't have nobody here. So if you vote me off next week, it is what it is. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Vote me off.
Yeah.
Vote me off. Run around
I
screaming.
wonder, Jay, I wonder, and Sabrina, I wonder how different the show would be if there wasn't eliminations. If eliminations were not part of the equation and people
Mhm.
were just really connecting with people that they had shared values with, and they had the same goals in terms of love and what they want for the future. I wonder how different all of this would turn out. But we know that there's eliminations and that plays a part.
I think it would get. I think it would be good, but I also think it'll get a catty, 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 catty. Like it'll be so much drama over time once people don't leave, because it's almost like a big brother at that point. It's just that people start backstabbing each other, start doing all kind of crazy, shady things, talking bad about each other like they don't already do it now. But we will really get to see it. We, the audience, will really get to see people in a real light, I
Honey,
think.
Jay, you took literally the words right out of my mouth. Everything that you just said is I was going to say. You said catty. I was going to say catty, but I was also going to say petty. But everything else that you said after that, I was going to say those things too. You know, it's just, yeah.
I be trying not to use the word petty sometimes because it's like too many to petty. Sometimes it's a fun petty, and there's sometimes it's just, all right, you're going to get this petty. But yeah, y'all know I'm the petty queen when it comes to it. So, you know, I know both sides of the world. But I definitely agree with both of you guys that there's a lot of forced connections going on. Let me just link up with you because I ain't got no viable option, or my option done disappeared on me, and I need to make up with somebody else, and you only want to hear that might give me the time of day, and other people just got connections all over the place. Every week they got them a new connection, you know, but they still fighting over connections that got other connections that's more stronger than that connection. And it, I'm about tired.
Facts. Facts.
I'm tired. Okay. So how we have the show starting or whatnot. So we're going straight into the retreat of it all. And first 3 people show up. We got Clifton, then Dakia, and then Joy. So this is our triangle for right now.
Was that on purpose?
Could be on purpose. I don't know how production sets them coming in. Sabrina, did you freeze? I feel like you froze. Uh-oh. We might have lost her. Okay. But
sorry.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
I don't know what's going on with my internet for some reason. Like this whole week, it's just been tripping. It's been doing that on my live last night, so I apologize, child.
Maybe you're getting like a new competing company or something in the area or something.
Maybe so, because it's been horrible, and it's only just been this week.
Side note: call your provider and just see what's going on, because they could have like a tower or some craziness out in your area,
or they want me to upgrade or something. Well, we got this new thing, so and then what you have is old, so it's time for you to get the new one. It's only $20 extra a month.
You know how they do. You know how they get you every time. It'd be the same stuff you had in the first place.
They like, click her back on, just push the button again. She good. She paid the extra $20.
Good. She got it.
Right. Free.
Next week, I'm at the same speed.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we was just asking, and okay, so you were there, you know, do you guys get a call time? So do you think like the 3 that showed up like this was production setup of a call time, or travel based off they travel and they just got there at this time?
So I need everybody to understand that we have control over nothing. They control everything. Period. What we wear, everything. Like it's a production. It's their show. You know what I mean? Like, people need to understand, like, we're bringing our personalities onto the screen, but everything else, from what we wear, they don't buy our clothes. They tell us what to wear. If they want Cliff to walk in first, if they want Dakia to walk in second, and if they want Joy to walk in third, that's how we're walking in, because that's what they want. So just to kind of give you a little insight about that. So, you know, It is what it is we don't just pop up and show up, because if that's the case, everybody would be showing up 1 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 12 o'clock, won't even show up at all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and it's a lot of waiting. So literally, they were all probably in a space where they were all sitting in the car, waiting, chilling for an hour while everything was getting set up. Production was setting everything up, et cetera, et cetera. And they're like, okay, cue Cliff in. You know, he drives up, walk in the house, or they already have him in the house. You know what I mean? So everything is, I mean, it's a production.
Okay, so that's good to know, because that was about to be my next question. Do you guys get there and they have you waiting and then let you in? So with that said, some people bad because they got in the house number 2. Okay, so
like, how ironic Dakia and Joy came in back to back.
Well, Dakia came in between them two. So I mean, I know they came in back to back, but it went Clifton, Dakia, and then Joy. Yeah.
That's my point that I'm making. Like all of a sudden, like you see, you know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. Even at that, you got. Okay, so I'll make this point. You got there second. You seen the whole layout of everything. I'm not about to be mad if I didn't go ahead and make my room real close to yours, if not in yours. And you know me, I like private bathrooms, so I'm like, you the only one in this house that got the private.
Honey, Joy did a power move. You can't even be mad at Joy. You can't. I was like, go, girl. That's something I would have did.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
I was like, she got a gangster check. Come on, girl. You know what I'm saying? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It is what it is. Regardless if production told her to do it or not, she was like, yeah, I did it. She stood there and had that face. She was like, yep, I did it. That was me. I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to do it. I did it. She was like, and I'm good. And they did it. He knew she did it. And they both was like, how you show up both in onesies? Come on.
Now,
that was planned.
Yeah, they definitely had a conversation for sure.
Absolutely.
You know, I don't know if they did, because there was a little moment where it's just showing the house just before they put on the onesies. It just shows the house, right? And in that moment, Joy says, change into something comfortable. So it sounds like she's screaming to the whole house in a way, but you know, we know production can up and down the volumes on some things or whatever, but she screams like, get into something comfortable. And he goes, that's your pajamas. So I don't know if it's totally all the way planned or we just got the same vibe. Sometimes y'all show up on the same outfits on and stuff like that. Matching flies. Because Sabrina 2.0 and Demetrius sure enough had on a black turtleneck and some checkered pants when they went to go meet his friend that one day. So were they planning that? To dress alike on that day? I don't know. Maybe.
They was all about to go to the Soul Train Awards. That's
now, if they literally had if they literally had both Minion onesies on, or both whatever giraffe, dinosaur, whatever Joy had on, then maybe yes. But I'll just make this point. My butt looks good in the onesie, so I'm definitely was bringing a onesie on the trip, and I don't know how cold it is, so it keeps me warm too. And them Fenty Savage onesies be banging, baby. Okay, y'all been running.
Nothing wrong with the onesie,
but y'all go ahead and give y'all thoughts on it though. Like, how y'all feel about this throuple?
So I'm gonna say this because I just saw Stacey O's comment. She said, what man is putting on a onesie without his woman asking him to do that? I just need to know. I just need to know. I was getting ready to say, like, it's not that many. The percentage of men, I don't think, is just gonna be like, you know what, I'm about to go to the house with some women that's actually trying to, you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, like, be my woman and stuff. Like, I'm gonna go in there with my, you know what I'm saying, Savage Fenty like robe on with my little silk, you know what I'm saying, pajama, my pants. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, get my little chest hairs, you know, my little taco meat. I'm gonna go ahead and get them that permed out, you know, flattened out straight, and get some baby hairs going on. I'm not gonna show up in a onesie. Yeah.
And see, me and my friends is about, I think we just probably silly because it's been several, like, we would plan like sleepovers like this or whatever, and we would
on a dating show.
I mean, yeah, we ain't dating each other, so that
national there. It's different when you with your friends and y'all just like, I just, especially if I'm trying to make an impression on the men. Like, I'm not gonna show up in a giraffe onesie.
I'm telling you, that booty look good in the onesie. You gotta
I'm not saying, but guess what? My booty look good in a lot of other things too. That's all I'm trying to say.
I know that's right, Sabrina. I think it probably was a conversation, which nothing is wrong with that, but it was probably a conversation.
Yeah.
But I wonder if the conversation extended to a little bit more people, because that would be something. A onesie thing would be more so like, hey, y'all got onesies, y'all bring y'all onesies, you know what I'm saying? Like, instead of just the two. I'm not denying anything that you guys saying. I would just say that I would feel like more people would have been included in that, because
I don't
we
know. I don't know
I'm
if
not
Joy would have
saying
felt that way.
everybody in that house.
Right.
I'm saying everybody in that house, but I'd be like, hey, y'all got the onesies. A couple of my homegirls, at least, like if we cool, but maybe everybody ain't cool with each other like that at this point, you know.
Joy is focused. She's like, listen, I know who I want, and that's like my main. She has tunnel vision at this point.
Baby, them gray sweatpants. Yes.
Yes, come on.
No, you got to have them basketball shorts for the that nightlife. Yeah. But yeah, nah, okay, I'm gonna take my cape back off. I was trying to cape for him for a second. I was trying to cape for him, but it definitely was planned. You got a onesie. Somebody said it earlier on another live. Clifton is too big of a man to be having a onesie, so I don't know, but they do make them in big men size. So he had to search for it, but he found him a minion, so that was cute. But he might see that onesie gives me that he got that with his son, and he just brought it on this trip. Joy's like, "You got a onesie? You got a onesie? Yeah, I got a onesie. All right, bring that."
Yeah, they planned it though. Period. Point blank. They planned it. They planned it.
Yeah.
It's
How
no-
do we feel about Dakia and not knowing this connection, as she likes to claim she doesn't know this connection?
I don't feel anything about it. She don't need to know. Like, was somebody supposed to like give her a message? I don't get it. What she was expecting.
Do
I
she
don't
think?
know if that was me, but I'm just saying, like, we know that. Okay, everybody know about Clifton and Joy. Like, like I don't think anybody in that group or in the cast is like, oh, I didn't know they had a thing. Like that has been a thing from literally the beginning. So I don't know why Dakia. Maybe the onesie thing threw her off, but or sharing the room thing threw her off. But I don't. Her not knowing that the connection was strong. I don't know. I have a hard time believing that. I also have to keep in mind that she's not seeing all that we're seeing in real time. Like as we're watching the show, she's not seeing everything. But I mean, Clifton has been Joy's pick from the beginning, from what I remember. So, but I don't know what she was expecting. I just don't know. Like, what was Clifton going to say?
Do you like believe that she didn't know about the collection though? Like I know
I
you
think
don't
she
care.
was. I think she mentioned that they talked about cuddling at the house. So
Mhm.
I think that might have hurt her feelings. Because if they had a whole conversation on the phone at night, hey Sean, they had a whole conversation about like, hey, we're gonna cuddle once we get into this lake house, right? Or this house. And then you see him with onesies and spending the night with someone else. I could see her feelings being hurt, and that's
Mhm.
valid. I think that that's pretty valid. But I don't know what type of communication or how much she was expecting in terms of Clifton saying, hey, by the way, I don't know because I feel like they just kind of connected anyway. So I don't know.
Right.
I just don't know if it's tricky on this show. I don't know if I know. Like I guess it's the nice thing to do to let someone else know. Hey, by the way, but it's like man, everyone's dating everybody. It's really tough. I'm not sure. It's a tough call.
Exactly. Hey Sean, how are you?
What's up, Jay?
Hi,
What's going
Sean.
on, Sabrina? Hey, Chris.
Hi.
Hi,
Nice to see everybody tonight.
You too.
good to see you,
Good,
sir.
good, good. We're just getting into the very beginning of it. So, if you want to run your initial thoughts, and we're just talking about the first throuple of the night.
Was it really a throuple? I don't think it was a throuple.
Somebody's trying to check themselves out of this. They try to check themselves out of this equation, but she was in it.
A throuple is 3 willing participants. I think Dakia was on the outside of the throuple. She was just watching. She was the voyeur. Poor Dakia. She can't catch a break, right?
Yeah, but yeah.
But I got the sense that there might be some side conversation that Clifton was having. So maybe, you know, she was reading a little bit into things that Joy was doing. That might have contradicted with what the conversations her and Clifton were having, because even if you look at how Clifton was playing the whole thing, although, you know, he did get festive and into that onesie, which, you know, I'm with you, Sabrina. I heard what you said. Yeah, I don't care who it is. I don't. When I was married, I tried to be sold into that onesie for Christmas. Yeah, no, it's not happening. I'm not gonna do it. I put on Christmas pajamas, but a onesie, I just felt like once you hit a certain age, it's not for me. But listen, they look like they had a good time. You know, I'm not raining on anybody else's parade, but yeah, it wouldn't be me, especially not in a single environment where, you know, I'm trying to get the attention of other women and trying to see what connections are out there. You know, you could be goofy like that if you wanna, you know, when you're already settled down in the relationship, but it works for them. So needless to say, I do think a lot of those antics were orchestrated by Joy from what I'm seeing. Whether it was the throwing her bag on the bed, being very, you know, outspoken about who her top person was. I think that was her pushing the needle, because when you hear Clifton, he does say he likes Joy, you know, and he's interested, but he's not like shouting on the rooftop, "She's my only one." He acknowledges that it's Dakia and, you know, when whomever else it was, he was entertaining, you know? So I think a lot of that is driven by her.
Respect. I ain't got nothing against you. I ain't gonna start the beef early. We got a lot of show to go. Yeah, go ahead, Sabrina.
So I think what we as viewers need to start doing, okay, not we, I think y'all as viewers need to start doing, some of you have it, some of you have the formula down, but in real life, just as Sean said, like, and just actually as Chris said as well, like, you kind of got to take the scenes and look at the scenes for what it is, because it's what is Cliff really saying to Dakia? What is Cliff really saying to Joy? Now, how Cliff, his actions shows he is more interested in Joy. Now, Dakia saw this for the first time, that he actually might Joy, you know, he might like Joy more than he likes me, which is Dakia. When Cliff is around Dakia and when they went out to lunch, or when he's around Dakia, he's feeding her oysters and doing this and got his hand on her leg. And when he's with Joy, you clearly see he has a connection with Joy. But when Joy and Dakia came to meet his friend, it was, oh, hey, Joy this, Dakia that as soon as Joy was like, I got to go, he like, can I taste your vagina? You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't giving that energy to Dakia when Joy was sitting there. So I just feel like that Dakia is being I don't know. I just feel like she really doesn't know what's going on. She knows that he has a connection with Joy, but I don't think she realizes how deep the connection is, because obviously her and Joy aren't, you know, they don't talk, and he definitely ain't telling her how he feeling about Joy. So she's just looking at everything for surface value. And what surface value shows is that, guess what? He liked Joy. They probably talk on the phone, whatever, but it's not that serious. But I think she realized at that very moment, at that house, in that scene, wow, they really do like each other more than what I thought. He hasn't communicated that to me. I don't talk to her. I didn't know. Nobody told me. So I really think that she was shocked by everything, because she had no idea.
So
we know, we see it, but she wasn't seeing what we see on TV now. You know what I'm saying?
So here's my follow-up question to it. Whose fault is it? Is it Clifton's fault, or is it Dakia's fault, or is it both their fault?
It ain't nobody's fault. It's a freaking...
No, I'm saying why she doesn't know about this.
It's nobody's fault. Cliff isn't obligated to tell them nothing. She ain't obligated to tell them nothing. Exactly. He's not obligated. He just
But
needs to do what he need to do with Dakia, and he need to do what he need to do with Joy. They're
It's
not
Dakia's
obligated to
fault.
know about each other.
It's Dakia's fault for getting too emotionally invested,
Yeah.
or you know, reading. I think
That
not
part too.
reading the room enough, and then jumping off the cliff. No pun intended. You know, like just have a conversation with Cliff. You know what I mean? Like before you start, you know, seeing all these things. And listen, they're in a, you know, they're on a resort. I don't know how many rooms were in that, you know, ranch or the house they were staying at. Didn't look like a whole lot of rooms because they had bunk beds in some and, you know, double beds in others. So it didn't look like it was a mansion with 12 to 15 rooms in it. I didn't get that picture. You know,
yeah, but last week you was talking about it's plenty of rooms. I told you, I know how these Airbnbs go. They could give you some twin size beds, some little bitty beds that's only for kids and stuff. They play you on these Airbnbs.
I heard it was enough rooms.
It was enough rooms, but it was a lot of bunk beds.
Right. Yeah. Well,
but it was enough rooms.
Yeah, the people would have had to kind of like the guys would have had to bunk up together. Like they would have had to been intentional and split the rooms. But you know, that's not what happened. And that's what I meant by that. Not like there wasn't space for everyone, but there was some sort of limitation. So Joy just, instead of bunking with another woman, she was like, nah, me and Cliff gonna split this bed. Listen, you know, Dakia, you know the environment you're walking into, right? So don't get all bent out of shape. Just take it, you know, this is the opportunity of the resort. It's to, you know, strengthen the connections, make some advances, you know, make decisions for what direction you're going. It's not getting your feelings and pout because you're seeing somebody move further along in the process. Because if Cliff would have asked her to stay in the room with him, she wouldn't have been upset. Right. And then Joy would have probably felt some way too. So somebody's always going to, you know, in this environment is going to feel some type of way. So I think she just need to put a big girl drawers on and just be like, all right, let's have a conversation. You know, is there still an opportunity for me and you? Because y'all looking real booed up. It's looking like relationship goals wannabe. So have a conversation.
The real reason I asked that was because how Dakia is sitting here saying that she's hurt and all this by this, as if he was telling her, oh, this is you. But then later on in a conversation, like in a side, what is that? The confessionals that you guys have. She states that, let me see if I have it because I took a screenshot of the transcript. But she says, it's all of us together under one roof. Got that right. As long as got that right. How long does that? Where it's comfortable or uncomfortable? I don't bring it up with him. I don't ask him about his decision on where he is with Joy because I want him to do that on his own. So when you're doing that, you're leaving yourself to be in this vulnerable position of having everything come into your face all at once and having to accept it. So to me, it's like you can't really be hurt by anybody else's doing. You're hurt by your own accord by not actually asking this person up front to make it clear on what it is. Because once they say, I'm not saying you got to say you're number one or nothing like that, but when you're leaving it up to them not to say anything, they don't have to say anything. Like you said, Sabrina, they don't have to say anything. But then you can't be mad. Go ahead.
Can I say something real quick too? But my thing is at the end of the day, like her and Cliff, yes, they were feeling each other in the very beginning, but when him and Joy were building on this connection and they had a connection from day one, like, I hope that she doesn't forget, like the first 7 episodes, it was her and Eric. Like, I think she might have forgotten about that part. So it's kind of like, the whole time that, him and Joy was working on something, she was working on something with Eric. And unfortunately, the situation with Eric fell through. So now it's kind of like you looking at Cliff sideways. No, in real life, like, you should be kind of trying to gravitate towards him more to get his interest, or gravitate, towards him and get his interest way more. I'm sorry, I'm so sick. I'm trying to get it together. My throat's hurting. Get his interest and try to, I guess, I hate to say it like this, but it's like you're going to kind of need to do a little bit extra because it's like you starting late in a sense. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But we already know that he gonna stay with Joy. He gonna end up with Joy. But still, if that's what you're trying to do, but not, play like dag. So my thing is I would look at the situation like, dag, I need to step my game up. Not why him doing that? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, but my biggest thing is just like I can't be mad at somebody else if I've never asked them the question.
And that too.
Right.
That part too.
To get like if they lied to me, then it's different. I can put ownership on them. But if I never gave them that to give me a lie or the truth so I can make my decision, I can't be mad at what I see going down. It's just like, oh, now I see what it is. It is, you guys got a connection. I didn't know it was this strong. Okay, well, let me figure it out. I'll be hurt, but I definitely not gonna be mad at them for having what they got going on. Hey, Seaway, what's up, girl?
Hey guys.
Hello. Come through, Green.
I'm a little late, so I don't want to repeat anything that you guys said earlier.
We just talking about the first three that I can't call it throuple no more because Sean has said Dakia wasn't willing. So
he's not a willing.
She wasn't invited, Jay. She wasn't invited to the throuple. She's an outsider. She might be willing if she was asked. That's a problem.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, she needs to take a page out of Ace's book and be like, I love. You guys seem more connected. I'm gonna bow out gracefully with my integrity. That's what I would do personally after I see a suitcase or a bag on a bed and I know y'all done spent the night and you ain't really said much to me the whole trip. That would kind of be it for me. I do think, though, that like you said, Jay, when you're coming in late in the game and you were focused more on Eric until he did what he did, and now you're trying to like full speed ahead on Clifton, you can't be mad if they already have a stronger connection. But I will say Clifton was gaslighting her. I know, buzzword, with her even attempting to ask him what was going on. He was playing stupid like a lot of dudes do, acting like he didn't understand her question. That was kind of annoying. But it's kind of like darn if you do, darn if you don't. Because that season, what was it? The Houston season? I feel like everyone was like, am I your number one? Am I your number two? Am I your number one? It was like, and then now they're doing the exact opposite. No one's asking what numbers are anyone, which is great. They're enjoying the process. But I think when you get to the end and then you're not asking any questions, I think this is the time where it's appropriate to be like, hey, if you want to focus on Joy, and that's like your solid connection, we're getting to the end, I will bow out gracefully. I feel like that's a respectful question. It's not like asking, am I your number one or two? And it's like episode 2 or week 1 in real life or whichever it is, So I don't know. Dakia is trying to stay to the end. And I just don't understand that if she's really looking for love, trying to like hang on to Clifton, or now making this last ditch effort for Paul, and Paul making this last ditch effort for her. I don't know. It's kind of weird for a watcher when you think everyone on here wants to find love, and that's the whole idea. Like, you're supposed to be between 30 and 50 and, wanting to have that kind of either second chance or first chance. If you haven't got a chance, you would think you'll be more serious about it. Not just like, oh, let me just grasp for straws at the end. So,
yeah,
I don't get it. I think that's where the show is at this point.
But Seaway, remember, her and Clifton have had a connection from early on, because remember, even in the first few episodes, he was saying she's 9 to 5, and she was throwing out all these innuendos and all this foolishness, that
no, I was saying the grasping at straws for the Paul part. I know she's been, them two, they've been like rocking from the beginning to some degree, and then they had that oyster date, and she said that made her think that they had a deeper connection. I remember she said that. But as far as it is with Clifton, I just think once you see where they're at, and Joy was really trying to like draw her territory in the sand and make it kind of clear, once I see you got a bag in another room with another woman, I think it's safe to say that I can just move along, that's what I would do. Especially for someone like she says, I'm a lady, I'm classy, I'm this and that. When they got the matching pajamas, I would just have to, my pride would not allow me to even have my conversation with you would be real short, like, I see y'all got the matchy jammies and the bags in the room. I'm gonna bow out gracefully. But best
Yeah,
of
I
luck.
don't think she needs to ask him anything. It's very clear at this point. I know sometimes people want closure. I think that was really clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
First of
My
all,
question more so is for Clifton. My question is why, when you've made such a grand overture towards one particular person, why not just say, hey, like we were rocking, but I think I'm gonna go this way? Why the caginess about it is giving not ready to love on his side. Like I
once
don't get it.
again, she never asks. She don't ask. I don't have to tell you anything. You don't ask me anything. I don't have to tell you.
You don't have to, because he ain't got nothing but stay black and die. But I feel like he should. If someone's asking you a clear question and you're being manipulative on purpose.
Where was a clear question that she asked though?
Oh, I don't have the exact
outside
word.
outside of the bag thing, because that right there was okay. But she was also funny on that part when Sabrina came in the house on that part, because you already knew the bag was in there, but you're gonna sit there and run to Sabrina, who was the fourth person in the house, talk about hurry up, the beds are running up are running out soon. So you knew what you were doing when you were trying to get Sabrina to see those bags. But at the same time, he should have been up in front, knowing he already seen the bag on the bed. He should have been up in front about it. But other than that, she said it herself, and I read it, the transcript of her saying, I don't ask him about his connection with Joy. I don't ask him about his connection with anything else. So if she's not asking him the questions, where do he have to be upfront about it?
Maybe it was editing, and I don't have the exact, and someone in the comments remember the exact question. All I know is on the question that she asked him, his response, and it didn't look like splice editing, was an intentional evasion of her question. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he did not respond to her actual question.
Myself. Are we talking about Dakia or Joy?
You talking about Joy?
When Dakia was sitting down with him outside, whatever, she asked him a question, and then his response was evasive and complete. And he was like, "Oh, you mean such and so?" And she's like, "No, that's not what I mean." But I just can't remember what the exact question was.
I think he's doing that. He did that to Joy too, Seaway.
When she asked her question. That's why I said I'll correct myself, because I know he did it with Joy.
So I guess that's how he's talking to both of them.
But I don't remember him doing it with Dakia, because Dakia said herself she don't ask him no questions about other people.
It was something, because I know he did it to Joy later when she was asking, when are you gonna do whatever, and then whatever, I don't remember. He was being evasive to me the whole episode. I can't remember, but there was 2 times, one with Joy, one with Dakia. Either way, I feel like you've been putting all this effort towards Joy too, and then it's like now she's asking you for the first time for you to make a kind of more of a commitment, and it's also caginess.
Mm-hmm. That part, yeah, I definitely agree with you on that, because he did that.
Well, that's our answer. Sometimes the answer is not in the answer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like if the person is not being direct with you, then that's your answer. And she's at a big grown age where you should be enough, astute enough to know, like, hey, listen, if I ask you a direct question and you start to dancing with me, then that's my answer. You know what I mean? So don't wait for somebody to tell you what to do with your life and your dating situation. You know what I mean? If they're not telling you what you need to hear, and if you're seeing the signs that look like they're in a whole nother situation with somebody else, and that somebody is not you, then, keep it trucking.
Now, y'all can turn y'all cameras off on this thought right here, because this is going to be my thought and my thought alone. I can put myself on this big screen by myself. Okay. But if I was Clifton or any other man that was pursuing Dakia, or had Dakia at one point at my sights, and I seen what happened with the last brother that told her, allegedly, if it went down the way it did, if I seen what happened with the last brother that told her where he stood with his 1s, 2s, and 3s, or whatever that case, yeah, I'll be a little, let me tip a toe around some words with you, because I don't know. Now, these are just my thoughts, allegedly. I don't know exactly the timeline, how it went down for sure.
You mean Eric?
But yes, if I seen that happen, I would be real kind of cautious on how I let you down. Because, like I said, I'm not there. I don't know how, if it's everything, how it played out. But if it is to the point that somebody told you, my number one has moved from you to this other person, and then all these other things transpired afterwards. I'll be more cautious. Now, if that never took place like that, then I don't know what the hell Clifton out there doing. He just being a total butt right now by not just being straightforward with either ladies. At least you could be straightforward with Joy. At least you should be straightforward with Joy, because Joy really did. We really watched Joy actually hit a real serious question, like, where do you stand with me? Where do we stand? Like, what's up? She actually asked him straight up, and he kind of pussyfooted around on that shit. So, but yeah. Any final thoughts on that before we move on to the next? All right. Well, I guess since Sabrina was like fourth in the house, we'll talk about Sabrina, Tori, Demetrius, and Donovan.
What's that? A quadruple?
Yes. How many I got up in there? Sabrina. I don't know how to make this little new little shape, the little octagon they got going. Yes. Sabrina right here, 1.0, 10.0, like I like to call her, because she's the only one I got. Okay, my Sabrina. She said it earlier, we see the men talking to each other. So how do you guys feel, and we'll start with you, Sabrina, about that talk with Tori and Demetrius?
I think it was so mature of them. I think that it should have happened sooner. I feel like that, and I wish that Tori would have done it for himself, because I feel like ever since Tori witnessed Sabrina.
I think we lost her again. We give her 2 seconds to see if she come back, and then we're gonna circle around.
Oh no, she was getting right to a good point.
I know. All right, Seaway, we'll let you go ahead in there. Hopefully she can come back.
Well, I agree with what Sabrina was about to say, I'm assuming, but I do think it was a very mature conversation. And I'm assuming Sabrina was about to say it really kind of freed Tori from his internal struggle that he was going through, since that Truth or Dare incident. And it seemed like once he was able to talk. Oh, she's back. Okay. Go ahead.
You can finish Seaway, and then I'll finish after you.
No, because I would think I was going off of what you were about to say, so you could go ahead.
Okay. So ever since the pool party, I just feel like Tori hasn't been right, because I feel like he really genuinely liked Sabrina. Mm-hmm. And from what I see, it just seems like the type of man that Demetrius is. And I'm going to say this too. It really kind of shocks me. I mean, I have my own assumptions, but like, you have this man, Tori, that's pretty much showing like that he done brought you cupcakes. He like letting you know, like, I'm feeling you, I'm lifting you up, I'm hugging you. And then you have this man, Demetrius, that's looking around on the bus ride. He really hasn't stepped up to the plate, but it's like you're showing more attention, or you're gravitating more towards Demetrius. And then you have Tori, and, and I just thought that was just an unfortunate situation. I don't know why it happened like that. I just can go off of what I saw, but I'm glad that Tori did take his time took that moment to be able to have that conversation with Demetrius. And I'm glad that Demetrius was honest with him. Are we just talking about that situation, or are we still moving forward with Sabrina?
Yeah, we're just talking about the men real quick, and then we'll jump into.
Yeah, I just really thought that was mature of him. I'm glad that Demetrius opened up, because I know it seemed like at times Demetrius could be closed off. So, I did appreciate that conversation that the guys had together. Yeah.
Go ahead, see where you finish.
Yeah, and to add to that, I think Demetrius showed more interest in his conversation to Tori about Sabrina 2.0, whatever number 2.0, than he showed to her directly. I was like, oh, you have all these feelings. That's wonderful to hear these feelings, because I haven't heard it. I don't think Sabrina's heard it, so this is odd. But it was nice to hear. And I think, Kojo said something like this, and I never thought about this until one of this like emotionally unavailable videos that he did. I think Sabrina suffers, and maybe this is what Donovan is hinting at, even though he need to be looking at himself in his 3 months post marriage. But I think Sabrina may be emotionally unavailable herself. And I think Kojo said in this video, I was like, oh, I never thought of it this way, that a lot of emotionally unavailable people try to go after other emotionally unavailable people in this defense mechanism of not actually wanting to settle down. And the more I see Sabrina, I think she is more attracted to Donovan. Is that his name? No, Demetrius. And him being completely just aloof, not available, showing no interest. Maybe because she's not ready for this commitment, and that is more safe for her. I think if she would have went with Tori, she would have known that she would have been loved. I'm not saying he doesn't have any flaws, but he was really going to try to love her, and he was going to be very direct about being into her. And maybe she wasn't ready for that. Because to me, there's no other logical explanation to go after Demetrius, who clearly is, now she's saying too cool for school, but he's been too good. He's been too cool for school this entire time. He's been very, I can take you or leave you this entire time. And Tori has been all about you this entire time. And as a woman, you ain't got to pick every man that choose you. Shout out to you, Sabrina. You can choose me. I got to choose you. I'm not saying she gotta choose him, but I just think it's very odd that you don't choose Tori and then you're going after Demetrius, who's very just iffy about you. And I say on this channel and Kojo's channel, and always choose a man that loves you a little bit more, if not a lot more, than you love him. And her going for Demetrius is a bad sign. Sean, I don't know why you shaking your head. Look, that's a rule of thumb, ladies. Don't listen to Sean. Look, I'm telling you.
We're gonna let Sean go last because he can give us a male perspective on if this was a great conversation or not. Chris.
Oh man, I'm laughing already. But I do to add on to what Seaway said, I think it is interesting how she goes from someone like Tori, Sabrina goes from someone like Tori who really likes her versus Demetrius who says he wants to, I think it was by the pool early on or a couple episodes ago where he said like I could see myself leaving here with you, or I can see myself building something with you, something to that effect. But outside of that, on camera, I haven't seen him super expressive, and maybe that's her complaint now. But that's who he is. So she has to ask herself, like, what do I really want? I think she's smart in getting to know several people. At the same time, I just think she needs to be clear about what she wants. Do you want to be with someone like Demetrius? Because you said in your confessional that submission is not, you're not here for it. So if that's something that he is, one of the things that he needs or requires, then you have to ask yourself these hard questions. You want children. Donovan already has children. You have to ask yourself these questions. So you just really got to look at, what do I want? What are the men saying? Right? And how do I move forward, and be honest with herself in that regard. But overall, I think she's cool and everything. I just think she has to be really clear about what she wants, because there are some things that have come up. I know Donovan said, I don't know if it was a confessional or I'm not sure if he said it to her, but he was like, he's open to more children, but it didn't seem like he really is, just being honest. And nothing is wrong with that, so if she really wants one or two, she has to really think about that.
Okay.
Because that's a big deal. Children are a big deal.
I love your answer, Chris, but it was about how the two men came together.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought we were talking about Sabrina. I'm going off like, okay, Demetrius, boom, Donovan, boom, Tori, boom.
You was giving some good points, and I didn't want to stop you.
I'm sorry, sis. I got excited.
We already done covered that. She wanted to move us along a little bit. And that's
sorry. I got excited. Just got overly excited. So my fault. But I think that conversation was good. And to piggyback off, I think Sabrina, I think you said that this conversation, Tori needed this, because I feel like he checked out a couple episodes ago and he's just been looking really unhappy for the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes. So I think his conversation was necessary for him more than anything. So I thought it was good. I thought it was a good thing. Positive.
I like that this is like the second time we've seen the men just having a conversation, and like we said before, it would be nice to see more of this going forward as far as the show goes, of just the sexes, the same sexes, just having like open conversations with each other. That would be like awesome. I like that this is twice that on both of these different retreats, getaways, that they had shown men just coming together. And I like to see that going forward with the women as well, if possible. We a little different, but you know.
I think it does help if there's any tension in the room. You're like, listen, we're going to spend the weekend together. Let's just go ahead and like have
But
this sit
even
down
with
so
these
we
two
can
brothers, they
really.
could have tension, some type of tension, because they're kind of competing for the same woman, but they
Mhm.
didn't. It was more so, let me figure out where you are, because I've been trying to ask her,
Right.
and I don't feel like I'm getting a clear answer. So let me figure out from this side what you're getting from her. Because it didn't even come off. It could have been like catty nuts, like, oh yeah, she's saying this to me and this, but it didn't come off like that. It really came off of me trying to get a genuine understanding of where you stand with this person that I'm also interested in. And so I enjoyed it. Sean, though, you are a man, so how do you feel about Tori approaching another man?
I mean, I think that's the most trying to choose my words wisely. Tori's been really sensitive in this process for me. I'm not sure if this was the right show for him to come on. Um, so I think this was probably one of the most unsensitive things that he's done. And that's not a word, but I'm making it a word because I don't want to use the word I'm thinking. Um, so I think that it was good that he got some clarity around that. I think he and Demetrius showed a level of restraint and respect with each other that many of us men of color can follow, considering recent mishaps, that have happened. So I like the conversation. I like that they got down to, the specifics and were able to talk about a situation which was uncomfortable, for Tori during a time when he really had a strong connection with Sabrina. So I like the conversation. I think it was well needed. And it's unfortunate that it just seems like Tori's time on this show is it's his days are numbered, because there's really no connections left for him and the group, and he's said it many times. He feels like he's just, what did he say? He referenced the game, and he felt like he's always the odd man out.
The game was two different games in one. He did he reference, so I got confused.
Yeah, me too. But I knew I got the gist
I
of what
know
he
what
was
he was
saying.
going at, but
Just feel like he was the odd man out. That's
yeah,
kind of what I feel. So I feel bad for him, and I think that he is constantly getting that speech. So I think this is the one thing I do like about Ready to Love. And I think, as though many of us, when we watch Ready to Love, we want to see the fairy tale. We want to see true love. We want to see, all the things that happen that are good. What we are seeing are some of the reality of things that happen in the dating world. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, a man that's gotten friend zoned. He is the nice guy that continues to get passed over. So they do exist. And I know, sometimes women will be like, ain't no good man out here, blah, blah. There are. And this is an example of one, absent his kidney comment, he's been a solid dude. You know what I mean? He's been a solid dude throughout this process, really intentional about the women that he has dated, but none of them have wanted him, including Ace, who did the ultimate letdown where it's not you, it's me, but really she was sending him on his way, very nicely. She did it very nice. I got to give her respect for that. Now, here we go again. Sabrina's letting him off the hook, sending him on his way, put him clearly in the friend zone. She likes to do that because she did it to Paul. She did it to, she's just going to continue to be sending these men on their way. So, hey, listen, maybe there's nobody there for her. Or she's looking in the wrong, she's looking Penub in all the wrong places. But that's my thought.
beautiful, beautiful. Okay, next point. Sabrina, and I'm talking about Sabrina on the show. Do we think that she's actually really ready to love anybody? Because I just like like Seaway always say, you go for a guy that loves you more than you love him, and that would be Tori. But she wanted Demetrius before Donovan came. And we all like a bad guy. We like a guy with a little mystery or whatever and stuff. So sometimes we overlook the good guy for that. But then Donovan showed up. Then she went for Donovan. Now she's nitpicking at almost everybody. So can we actually say that she is ready to love? Or do you guys think she is still ready to love? Anybody could jump up in there. I see a
My
faces.
Pootie Tang reference for those who know, who know.
Looking for nub. That's not Pootie Tang. That ain't even what Pootie Tang. That's
Who is it, Jay?
That's Eddie Murphy, Raw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, can we really say that she is ready for love though? Like, I mean, I like the way she is moving. She is being somewhat intentional on looking for things, but now we're nitpicking at and maybe feel like it might be me that I feel like she's nitpicking at little things, but it's just like you went from throwing your drawers at one person now saying that you don't think they're ready or whatnot. You're chasing the person that's not available and want them to be available, but you dismiss the person that is available. What is going on? Hey, help me make it make sense, because to me it's not just adding up to I want a relationship.
I like Sabrina. I want her to be ready. I really like her. I know that being wanted feels good, right? Being desired and all of that. We should be, right? I hope that beyond that, that she's ready. I hope she's not looking for perfection, because it doesn't exist. But really just choose someone who has your shared values, who wants the same things that you do, and see where it goes, right? Because you're not necessarily getting married the day after the show, right? You're seeing if you can build this relationship that you guys desire. So, and hopefully go in that direction if that's what you both want. So is she ready to love? I want her to be so bad. So, but she's going to have to really make some tough decisions, and she's going to have to make them quick, because there's 3 people here. Like, you come on, you got to make a decision. You got to make a decision and be honest with yourself. So I hope she is. I hope she is. Oh, well, yeah, technically 2. You're right. Technically 2.
2 and a possible.
That's true. That's true. She closed the door on Tori. I don't know if Tori closed the door on her. I don't know. Like, I think if she was to say, "Hey, what up, though?" You know what I mean? But we'll see. We'll see. I want her to be ready for love, ready to love. But I think she just has to not be so. I'm looking for a word. It's not rigid, but I don't know. I don't see it with Demetrius. Personally, I just don't see it. But that's just me. Maybe there's conversations they have beyond the show, but I don't see it. The connection, I just don't see it. And I know that she now wants more from him. I don't know if she's going to get that. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens next week. So yeah, I hope that she's ready to love.
Seaway, I'm gonna save you for a little bit, Sabrina, because you have a little more insight on what you know. But Seaway, what you think?
Oh, I wanted to hear what y'all think, because I'm kind of up in the air about it.
No. Tell us you're up in the air.
Huh?
Tell us you're up in the air, child. Don't be trying to sit here.
I'm up in the air about it. I really don't know. I really can't speak if she's ready to love. I don't know. I really don't know. She's moving a little odd for me. She's been moving a little odd for me, but I can't say definitively if she's ready to love. From what I've seen, I can't tell. What I do believe, though, is that I think she would like Donovan, but I think she's afraid of Donovan for the same reasons Donovan is afraid of her. And I don't know where that's going to lead them to. I think they both feel like they have commitment, not ready for this deeper commitment issue. So I think they're going to cancel each other out when, unfortunately, they probably would be the best for each other. So I think if they both can get over that fear part, maybe she and Donovan could work out. But I think they both have the same identical issue with each other. Only thing that gives me pause is I have no idea why she would be going for Demetrius for the reasons I've already said. So is she ready to love? I don't know. I just think when you're ready to love, when you see somebody like Demetrius, you go the opposite direction. So I don't know. But maybe he was the best option to her on this show, and she was trying to make something work for her on the show. That could be. I don't know. That's why I say I'm up in the air. I don't know if she's trying to make the best, out of the situation, or if she really believes that Demetrius would make a good catch, a good couple. I mean, a good partner. I can't tell. Because for me personally, and from everyone watching, for the most part, we all see that Demetrius is just not a serious option. But I don't know what she's seeing. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, so it gets a little confusing, especially with some dialogue that was said around the table later on. But Sabrina, what do you think?
I don't know what to think. I think because when you're filming the show, you really don't know how it's going to go. You don't know how it's going to be played out. You don't know how you're going to be presented. But I can honestly say, when you have options, so how Sabrina was moving in the beginning and how Sabrina is moving now is two different Sabrinas. And I think once she realized, oh, I have options, she started to move differently for me, which made me kind of look at her like, what's up her sleeve? Like, what is she trying to do? Like, why is she going for the guy that really didn't know he wanted to go for her? Like, why is she doing like this? Like, do she really like Donovan? I don't know. Like, is she going to start? I just was really, really confused. I felt like in the very beginning, she was like, you know what? I have to make connections in order to stay on the show. That's what I'm going to do. But now she has these options. She like, you know what? Yeah, like I'm kind of like, I feel like she's feeling herself a little bit. And it's okay to be feeling yourself. You know what I mean? Is she ready to love? I think she's absolutely ready to find someone to maybe have a union with, to start a union together with them. Do I feel like her guy is on this show? No. And I think that's why she's moving the way that she's moving, because it's like, I feel like at this point now, she's acting accordingly, but not as in I'm looking for love. Does that make sense? I don't know. So that's just where I feel like I'm at with Sabrina. So, I hope that she finds the guy. I hope that she does leave the show and she really meets someone. I mean, I wish we all could, you know what I'm saying? But the reality of it is, not everybody really kind of thinks like that. So unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I definitely get what you're saying or whatnot. Especially about that person might not be on the show, because that's what I started to get when she started like picking at everybody. It's almost like, let me check you off the box for a reason or not, so I can have a legit reason on why I don't choose any of you, because everything was fine in the beginning, and now all of a sudden, now I'm looking at all your flaws. And I mean, we do that in relationships. Everything is great when we first meet a person and they're just beautiful, and then we start seeing all the negatives about them. But if I really want to be with somebody, it's like, I see your negative, but can I handle that? Can I live with that? Can I deal with that? I don't just, oop, red flag, oop, caution, oop, let me cut you off there. So I feel you. I just feel like she might be ready, but her person is not there. Like, really, what she wants is not really there. Sean?
Yeah, I too am. I don't know if I was just looking on the surface, and my first initial answer, I would say no, she's not ready, because I think when you get at a point, you kind of start to look at what is going to be the best option for you. You know what I mean? So of the men here that are on this cast, who is the one that is the best option for her, right? And she may know more information than we do, obviously, but just looking on the surface, it would seem like Tori, right? He cares about her, he's affectionate with her, he is vocal about his feelings about her, he seems like he's honest and straightforward. And the reasons that she said she wasn't interested is because there was no chemistry, right? Um, so she didn't say that there was anything else that would sound like a red flag for me. So I would say, and this is just me in my humble opinion, like if she genuinely wanted love amongst the options that are here, she would be investing her time with him and continuing to spend her energy in that direction and not chasing Demetrius, who she has clearly said is not consistent, right? He is somebody that she is unsure about how he feels about her. And Donovan, who she really doesn't know and is only really most recently started to build a connection with, but now she's finding some flaws in whether or not he's ready. And it could be true. I don't know. I know he was ranting and raving all across IG about whatever he was carrying on about in terms of his marriage and the timeline and all that other stuff. So needless to say, I feel like if the option is going to be here, to me, it looks like it would be Tori. But for whatever reason, it's not. And she's continuing to go after these brick walls of options. So to me, that shows me somebody that's trying to push a square through a circle. Again, my humble opinion, I could definitely be wrong, but that's what I see.
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I definitely agree with that because that's what I feel like if you were looking for it. How I really feel is these three men, if you can build the perfect man, it would be pieces from these three men. You know what I'm saying? Like Tori, the well, I can't get that word. Help me out. A tenant. Okay, we're gonna fight today. Tori being attentive. We're gonna change the sentence altogether. Tori being attentive and paying attention to her and doing those little nice things for her. I think she loves that part about Tori. Him being forward and coming forth, she loves that. I think what she physically probably is attracted to is Demetrius. And maybe between the combination of Demetrius and Donovan, there's the edge she likes or whatnot. To piece them two together, like, I don't know. And maybe she could be attracted to Donovan's statue. I don't really know what it is, but I think if she can take all three of these men and being Spike Lee's, she got to have it, she would be doing that. She would be all over it. If she could date all three of these men at the same time and we didn't know about it, this is what she would be doing, because there's pieces of each of them that I think she does like, but I don't think she likes them enough to say, I want any of you, or I really want to try for it with you. And I feel like in these scenes in this episode, how she used to use Tori to get at Demetrius, I think now she's using Demetrius to get at Donovan because she already checked Tori off. But now you're sitting here telling Demetrius, oh, I didn't even know you like me. When last week he just told you in front of his friend that you were number one, that he's kept you at number one. So how do you not know? And I don't know, maybe in the background, Demetrius is dropping the ball and not picking up the phone and calling. We know that happens where people don't show up when they should show up. But it's kind of weird. Like, how did you not know? So, I don't know. You guys got any more thoughts on Sabrina?
I mean, I would say that when it comes to Demetrius, sometimes like you think you're doing something, and as a man I can identify with this, right? You think you're giving all the signals and the signs that show your interest, but it's really not. You're really not um paying attention to the woman that you're with, right? You think you're doing what's worked in the past. So perhaps what Demetrius is doing is what's worked for him in other scenarios with other women, but it doesn't work for Sabrina because it's not enough to let her know, especially in a process like this. And I think the other thing, just lastly, on the different options of the different men that she was choosing, I think if you've been unsuccessful, and this is not to just throw the whole formula away, right? But I think like at a certain point, right, if you've had challenges in relationships, Sabrina has been divorced, she's had some unsuccessful relationships. There's a point in time where you have to kind of call into question what your quote unquote type is, right? And that's what to me kind of just makes me throw that question mark up around the ready to love, because you get to a point where what really matters to you, right? Are you looking for an edge, or are you looking for a partner that is going to have a successful relationship and give you security and trust and honesty so you can build from that, right? And of course, you want to be attracted to the person. I get that part. And I don't think her attractiveness to Tori was ever a question because they started a dating process, right? It wasn't like she dismissed him immediately like she did with P.O., where she was like, yeah, no, it's not going to work. We're friends, right? She entertained him. So I think at a certain point, sometimes you got to check yourself and say, is my picker off? Is what I'm looking for? And I say this to me and anyone, right? Sometimes that type you have in your mind is not going to get you to the finish line. So I think that's the part where I don't know if she's quite ready yet, because she still might be chasing a type versus looking for the man that's going to give her the best option in terms of a relationship.
Gotcha. Anybody else have any more thoughts on Sabrina before we move on? No. All right. Back to Sabrina 10.0, because that's all we're going to worry about tonight. No, but so okay. Ready to love. Do we think Donovan is ready to love?
I think Donovan is ready to love. I don't think he's ready to love none of them women on that show, period. I think that Donovan it just seems like Donovan has been through some things in his life. He's learned from a lot of things. Just from what I see and what I, kind of just gather from, what I watch on TV and, just from what I see on social media as well. But I try not to include that. I feel like he's been through some things in his life. He messed up during some times. He learned from those mistakes. And I feel like if he meets the right woman and when he meets the right woman, he's going to be an amazing guy for that woman. Definitely not on the show, though. Definitely not on the show. Period. I mean, I don't really have too much to say.
Nobody on the show.
But
yeah. On this season. Nobody on this season, but maybe another season.
I don't know about all that. But I just think that he has put himself in a position, which is on the show, to actually find love, and and he's kind of just going through the motions at this point. I think he probably knows. I think he probably knew from the very beginning when he entered into that scene that his future wasn't there. His wife wasn't there. But you know what? He's there now. He's going to make the best of it. And, let's see what happens, because I actually might make a connection. So, because it seems like he's taking his time, like he's kind of like evaluating everybody. Like he's really trying to get to know everybody, He's not trying to rush into anything. So.
Well, so the silence doesn't stay too long. I'll jump in.
My bad. And the sad part is I'm over here saying Sean. I'm like, Sean, is you there? I didn't realize I was on mute. I'm thinking it's you. I'm like, Sean, can you hear me?
You're like, speak up.
not calling
You
you.
mute? What's going on?
I knew it was you I was calling.
I sensed it. I felt it. I was like, let me just break this, awkward silence we got going on. But yeah, no, I think potentially, he appears to show some signs of being ready. Look, it looks like Common got her hands all over him, so I think and he seems to be obliged, and he was rubbing her legs at the when they were at the resort, so that could potentially be a connection. They seem to be liking one another up until this point. I don't know if it's just a friendship or flirtiness, but that could be something that's kind of coming in the mix. But I think that I don't think it's Sabrina, and I don't think it's because he doesn't want her. I think it's because she don't want him, and I think she's started to already lay the groundwork for why she doesn't want him, because she doesn't feel like, for whatever reason, he's ready, based on some time frame, which perhaps editing spliced and diced it, made us feel like it's months, but it's really not, and it's perhaps a year. Whatever it is, I mean, I'll take his word for it. If he's saying he's ready, he's ready. He doesn't give. I haven't seen any signs from anything that he said that he doesn't seem to be interested or being able to, date and have relationships with any of the women. I haven't heard any of that feedback, or I don't see any of those, signals that he is not available. He's constantly calling Tina every time she don't show up, and she don't answer that phone, or wherever the hell she is, missing dates and doing whatever she's doing. So he seems to be able to spend his time appropriately, and I think that's the main thing, right? Somebody could be divorced, but you don't know, and especially from somebody that has been divorced, you don't know what the formality of it all. Yes, on paper, might he have been divorced for 4 months, but you don't know the behind the scenes. You don't know how long they were living separate from each other. You don't know when their marriage technically separated. You know what I mean? As long as he is divorced on paper, that's enough for him to be able to date, right? You can date and be separated too. So it's all about your choice. And I don't think that that necessarily means that the person is not ready. I think it depends on the party that's involved. So that's my long-winded answer to that.
FYI, everyone, Donovan's been divorced well over a year.
Well over.
Yeah. His last situationship, or like his dating relationship he had with someone, was like 3 or 4 months at that time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he's been divorced for a while.
That was definitely an edit on that one. So we'll give editing that one, because he's actually been out a little bit longer than she has. Unless hers is edited too, so I can give her that too. Hers could have been edited too, so we can just have all this controversy over who you fresh out.
Also, too, Jay, I'm sorry, but I do have to get ready to exit out.
No
but
worries.
I appreciate everyone for having me. Thank you so much, panel. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat as well. But I love you. Thank you, Jay. I had fun.
Go ahead. You tell the people where they can find you and everything, and what you got going on before you leave and stuff.
Oh, thank you. You guys can find me everywhere on social media at Miss Sabrina Soul. I have my own YouTube channel as well. You can subscribe to Miss Sabrina Soul, and on Instagram, Miss Sabrina Soul. So, and you can check out my website, which is shopsabrinasoul.com. So, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Chris, and nice to meet you, Seaway.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well, Sabrina. Take care.
Sabrina. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Making sure you get better, love.
I know. I'm about to go take my medicine right now. All right, bye, guys.
All right. Thanks. Yeah. But of course, we were trying to do a little digging on this time frame. From what I understand, Maryland has a rule, so both of these parties could have been out for a while, because I'm not sure where Sabrina had her divorce at, if it was in Maryland or not. But I think they're a state where you have to be legally separated for a year, or at least living separately for a year. I I don't know how it's totally played out, child. Don't get me to telling y'all the law because I'll have y'all in jail. So
I don't think she was divorced in Maryland.
Okay, so I don't know
This
what
is
her
from
rules.
California, so it could be there. I don't know, but
Oh well, shoot, you can get divorced at any time in California. Shoot, one party don't even have to be there, so she could be 5 months out of hers at the time. But he's been out of his situation, at least physically, for some time prior to that. So yeah, that was a crazy edit right there. But yeah, I was just, either way it went, I just looked at it as the kettle calling the pot black, because I was just like, you're both fresh out, regardless. You said it the last time that you was glad that he was kind of fresh out, because then you had somebody that kind of relate to what you were doing. Now this week, that's a problem. Like, what the heck? But
and
anyway,
divorces take so long. I mean, they take so long, especially in a pandemic. It's kind of like the real question is when did they officially detach, like separate? That would be my question.
Because in California, I know some people that it depends on your lawyer too, how good they are. Because out here, I know some people that was finished in a month, and then some other people that took up to 6 months to get it done. It's just about their paperwork during the pandemic. So I don't know East Coast laws. I know in California, it can be done based on how thorough your lawyer is. I'm not saying y'all need to be going to get no dango, because it did cost. It cost a nice pretty penny. But then if you don't have assets, that's a different thing too. If we start dividing assets and all that, that does play a major part on the length of the speed of the divorce too. Because once we start having to divide everything and negotiate and do all that stuff, that could take longer. So yeah, I don't know. I just know he was out in December of 2020 officially. And that is at least when did they start? September. So that's at least 9 months prior to filming. So I can't tell you how soon somebody is to be out of their relationship. Some people be checked out, as females, we be checked out long before we actually check out of a relationship. So sometimes we be ready to move on. And then you got sayings that people like to say, the first one to move on really wasn't invested, but that don't really mean nothing. We just got tired. So everybody spoke on.
Men who are used to being married, I don't know if y'all noticed, but a lot of men who are used to being married, they will remarry within seconds. Like, and maybe it's because they're used to being married. So it's kind of like as soon as that divorce is final, they'll remarry real quick. So honestly, like for a lot of men, it's not that odd to be ready to kind of find someone and remarry. Usually I see the women, it takes a lot longer to actually like remarry.
Or at least attached to a committed relationship for some time and stuff. Sean, you ready? You ready to go back down the aisle?
I wouldn't say I'm ready today, but I would get married again.
Yeah, we know you'd be ready to marry.
How does it get to be about me?
We know we always got to mess with
I just did a whole soliloquy on Donovan. I'm like, who? What?
My name is Sean, not Donovan. We know we got to mess with.
Drag me down this road.
Wrong road. All right. Anyways, who we got next?
Can I add something, Jay?
Yes, go ahead, baby.
I just want to say that I know Donovan was rubbing, was it Carmen's legs? I think I'm here for a good leg rub.
Was it Carmen's legs or Joy? Because Joy had her legs up on them.
It was
Carmen.
It was Carmen. I remember them with their hands. I know
Joy had got up, and then Carmen sat down, I believe.
He rubbed her legs. Okay, because I remember
I'm here for a good leg rub. So I was feeling that scene. I was like, yes, come on with the rubbing. I'm here for it.
Wait, but it's a discernment for me. Why are you rubbing Carmen's leg? I don't know.
They had a connection though.
But it's the fact that Paul has more discernment about Carmen than Donovan is a red flag. The fact that Paul has more sense.
Or it just doesn't line up for maybe their chemistry, Paul and Carmen's chemistry don't match up. So it's just more discernment because he don't match up with her or whatever.
See, none of it makes sense. That's the interesting.
Let's talk about her coat coming out though. She came out with the Mary J. Blige fur though.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what Donovan and Carmen got in common, but
LC High Vibes is on the same way that I am. That fur coat she came out in, baby.
I was here for the fur. I was here for the
came out
fur.
like Dynasty.
And I was here for the leg rub. It's not together. I was definitely here for the leg rub. Just not him rubbing her legs. That was throwing me off.
Listen, I don't like my feet rubbed, but I was low-key impressed. I was low-key getting jealous of Joy when Clifton was rubbing on hers. I was like, hold on now. I like mine a little massage too now. But yeah, okay. Who do we have? Who else was booed up? Not booed up. Okay, Dakia and Paul. Oh,
I don't
everybody turned away.
think that's really a thing. I don't think that's really a thing.
Are we forcing? This a forced call?
It's a force. Even though Paul's energy towards her was really sweet, I think his demeanor towards her, it was almost like he really saw her. I mean, that was the most I've liked Paul since the show started. I mean, the way he talked about Dakia was the way you want a man to talk about you, for sure. I'll give him that. Like the way he talked about her and the way he talked to her was very intentional, very flattering. And I love that for her, but it was definitely giving forced. Like, just overall, the whole situation gave force. Donovan's demeanor towards her didn't feel like force, but the whole thing of like him doing a last ditch effort and her doing a last ditch effort combined feels like they're forcing it. But I think Paul is into her more than she's into him. I think for her, it's just like, I gotta find somebody. Clifton just played me. Me and Eric went south ASAP. So what's up? I don't know.
High fives. Don't get.
It was definitely age appropriate. It definitely was age appropriate. It felt age appropriate.
But I would agree that I don't think Dakia is really into Paul. I really think she's just trying to have connections because it's safer that way, especially in deliberation. But it's like, do you want to make it to the end? Do you want to win? Or do you really want to find somebody that's a good fit for you? So I don't see it for them at all. Yeah. I just think she needs to like have options, and so that she's securing her position, so her spot.
There was a part, and I was with Seaway, especially on this, where I do feel like Paul is a little bit more open to her, and it probably has always been, because he made a comment is, I was trying to get to you, but there was always somebody. Kind of like at you, always pulling at Dakia, always pulling. And I don't think it was really somebody. I think just Dakia wasn't trying to reach back or receive where he was him at first until now. I think Paul might have actually gave it a real shot.
I think he even stood up for her one of the deliberations, even. So I think he's really like, wow, but I just think she's just trying to connect with him. But it's not. I don't think she's really into him. Because I just feel like he's been there the whole time. If it was really a thing, it would have been a thing, I think.
So. You wouldn't be waiting till now to just talk about, I see you, you're this and that or whatever. It's like, I think he's tried to connect with her, but she wasn't, answering. Sean, not the thug passion. She want to be thugged out. She want to be thugged out after 9.
That's what Paul said. I'm having fun in the comments. But remember, Dakia has been cackling and like, I'm sorry, I just can't get a good read on her, because outside of her proclaiming her love for Clifton, especially in this resort, and I'm using the word love in jest, obviously, but clearly that's the only thing that bothered her. Everything else, it was like always these tongue-in-cheek innuendos, jokes, and she was cackling at his Paul's dad jokes a couple of episodes ago when they went on their date. I don't know who she really likes outside of Clifton, right? She's got all this banter going on with Eric. She was flirty with who did she say had BDE? Was it Demetrius? It's like I can't keep track of Dakia and all these random place flirtations / sexual innuendos she's got going on. So I don't even know. to be
She's
quite
a
honest.
walking contradiction.
Yeah, it's like it's very hard to figure her out. Then she want to be fighting with Carmen, and I get it. Carmen jabs at her too, so they go back and forth. They have their little thing, and now she's all uptight about Joy. She's just wearing me out, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. It's just like we've been all over the ringer with her. It's like, child, sit down somewhere. I mean, it was cool in the beginning because you got to figure out who you want. But like you said, Sean, all those sexual innuendos to everybody, it'd be different if it was just like to one or two of like, your top or whatever. But everybody got something. You're taking Wally by the hand. You're over here telling Demetrius this. Now you people that you ain't thought about looking at. Oh, Tori's kind of handsome. Oh, I see you, Paul. Like, child, you wasn't checking for none of these people. Just keep them in the friend zone where they been and leave them alone. Like, let's be for real. I still kind of feel like I said before, when that stuff happened with Eric, you probably should have checked yourself out of this situation because you didn't really have a strong number one besides that.
I was like, please pin that comment because that's
Who was
the
that?
truth.
Trey?
No, the one you just pinned.
This is Levine. No, it's me, Seaway. I'm
Yeah,
go back and
we go
forth,
back and
so.
forth with the other
Yeah.
one's talking. Yeah, but I mean, she
Dakia
is.
is you gotta say Dakia got that Shiloh energy. I would stay away from her. They
Thank you.
don't know what they want. That's the one you tell your sons. They start acting like that. Stay away.
Mm-hmm.
To get you in trouble. How you running down the alley?
I mean, I say poor Paul, even though I don't know how he stayed on this long, but obviously he got good friend conversation to keep him around. But it's just been other people.
He's tall. He's just tall, Jay. He tall.
I said good friend conversation. I don't know.
But the Corey from last season was tall. It's not just
That's
tall.
why he stayed on there long.
He didn't even stay that long because they got by the third episode, they were sick of him. I think also
he was clowning.
Paul straightened up. And I think he's smart enough to be a little strategic, and he charmed some of the ladies because even remember that's what piqued Carmen's interest a few episodes back because she was like, I'm hearing a lot of things about the ladies. I want to get to know what's up with this Paul, right? So I think, he's got that old school player from the Himalayas energy. You saw when his friend came through, what was his name? Kill Bill, whatever the dude's name was. They got that energy. So I guess, listen, that's some of the ladies were feeling that. And then he's got the stability. So it's the stable, he's got a good career, good job. Seems like he listens. He's attentive. So I wouldn't just say he's just tall. I think, he is, he's astute enough to kind of read the room.
I'll say that too, in agreement with you, Sean, that when they gave him advice on how to shape up and do this, he took it. He didn't say, oh no, y'all don't know what y'all talking about or whatever. So that right there, he started opening up. But I just say he's just a good friend. He's a good friend, and just other people just happen to be worse than he is. He make it to the bottom, but like once Tori, that's why he's on the bottom this week. Once Tori is gone, if Tori is gone, I don't know who else is keeping her, but once Tori is gone, then it's kind of like up for grabs for Paul. Like, you don't have nothing else.
What is this comment? Daddy figures in senior citizen parking. Wow.
Y'all is hard. Y'all hard.
Brother. He got a good 15 years before he's a senior citizen.
But that privileged parking is everything, baby. Don't play when them lots get full.
You want to get up in that mall. You want to run to the mall. You want to run to the supermarket, and you don't want to have to battle for parking. I take me one of them little blue tags.
Don't play. Them privileged parkings be coming in handy. You be like, I'm tired today. I had a long day at work. I don't want to walk that far. Pulling right up here. Child, but yes. Okay. Okay, Dakia. See, I mean, DeSosa. There you go. DeSosa. Focus.
Oh, she's saying what it really is. Women will look at a man and be like, he's tall. That's about 50% of it, and then 60 maybe. Then maybe the other 40s, what y'all talking about.
But you watch his lives sometimes. I mean, granted, he long-winded, but he can have some good conversation. So, like I said, he got that good friend vibe. You can call him and just talk about anything or whatever.
He's warming up on everybody. I can see what
the criteria for Ready to be on Ready to Love. I swear that must be on the screening for the dudes. You have to be long-winded. You have to be able to, you got to talk at great lengths, and for the most part, not get around to your point for some of them.
That's so perfect, Sean.
Huh?
That's so perfect. That's so perfect. And not get around to your point. You say everything but your point in a whole long conversation that you even forget your point. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay. Who else was making a match made miss on this? I just can't get over Dakia just not knowing. I'm just sorry. It's too many things. And her trying to play like she didn't know and then gonna tell Sabrina to hurry up and find your room so she could find out that there was some bags on the bed and stuff. I'm like, you being messy, and I seen it. Okay, I can see it. Now you want to play hurt at the end and show some tears just because Tommy talked about onions and being peeled back and don't have the tears. Now you got the tears all of a sudden for a man that never said you was his number one. How, Sway? How? And somebody is like, you just don't have tears if you don't have feelings. I'm like, child, them manipulation tears can come real fast when I want them to. Don't play.
I mean, it might be genuine feelings, but I just think, feelings aren't facts, right? We know that, right? So feelings aren't facts, and they could also be misplaced, because why are you investing yourself so heavily in something in like, a dating show like this? And we see, I mean, clearly, I think everybody knows that Clifton and Joy are an item for each other. I think she sat in several deliberations, and I'm sure Joy has been honest and open about her connection with Clifton. So I don't think this is something new. So I think she's just upset because she wasn't in the group chat to know that they were going to be sleeping in the same bed and wearing matching pajamas. I'm sorry. Sometimes people get eliminated from the group chat. This is what happens.
Not all numbers make it.
Happens all the time, and nobody wants to be the one that's eliminated, but sometimes you get eliminated. So you weren't part of the assignment, sis.
And if you got one of them on the phones, only 10 people in the group chat is getting the message. So you might have been the 11th. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
They wanted to say maybe she don't have an iPhone. Maybe she don't have an iPhone, and they pulled her out. Right? It was iPhone only group chat. Sorry if you got an Android. They left
out. We will eliminate them droids out the chat. I really will.
I wish you would. I wish you know what, you get off my back right now.
Hey, be nice. Be nice anyway. Be nice, Sean.
I done told Chris I'm fed up with them green bubbles.
Yeah, she be so sick of me. She's like, Chris, I'm like, sorry. That's all right.
You can have our own Android party. We can have our own Android party. We don't need these iPhone bruisers talk about.
Yeah.
I know you read my thing. That's why I liked it. Y'all don't know when I read.
And quit emphasizing all the messages y'all get in the group. We see it. It comes as an additional text. We get it. Y'all emphasizing, y'all loving, y'all hearting. Okay. Gosh.
Yeah, don't nobody care about
all that. I'm done.
Do that to your TikToks and stuff.
I love you guys, my iPhone family. I'm just saying, don't be nice to us Androids. Okay.
Y'all Androids are in a cult, but I guess we are too. So that's fine. Free yourselves.
The world is divided between iPhone and Android.
Isn't it terrible?
It's so terrible.
It really is. So I have a question. I don't know if we have time to get to this, or Jay, you want to leave this alone. But if you want to tackle it, I would love to talk about us finding out that Jason said that he didn't want to look at Liz's face. Did you see the live?
I didn't see it, but I heard that part. I didn't see that part. I seen parts of it, but I heard that part. Why would she admit that? I'd have kept that for myself.
That and more. Jason was a fool, like I said the whole time.
Wait a minute. She said that? She said
she
that.
She the one who said
that he didn't want to look at her face no more. Her face was annoying him.
She didn't say. Now I have to go back and watch this foolishness.
It was a
She the
lot.
one who said it because it was just them, the ladies talking, and she the one who
Yeah, I
said it.
missed that.
I would have
When
never
they got
admitted.
up there on that you know, women's empowerment panel that they set up, I was like, I couldn't watch it.
Sean.
I'm sorry.
Me
That
and
was
Robert could not take it in the comments. I had to log off because
it was too much. They were pulling every cliche. You gotta love yourself back to life, and if you don't teach them how to treat you, I'm like, would y'all get out of a Yonless playbook, please? Come on.
I don't know. I think a lot of times we women, we try to band together, which is great, but we'll gas each other up in the wrong direction.
Facts.
When in
And we
Rome,
think,
nobody said she had she was lying. I just said I would not admit that to everybody.
oh no, I wouldn't admit it, especially when so many people said that he was a fraud anyway from the beginning.
Mhm.
I think I would have probably, I mean, I appreciate her honesty because maybe someone can learn from the situation, but so many people, well, I can't even say so many people because I feel like Sean and I were dragged for a long time for saying that Jason was trash. But, you know, there was still a good amount of people who saw that he was very disingenuous individual.
I'm glad they dragged y'all, not me. They must have missed my comments when I was saying it. They was getting on me about Kyra.
Yeah, I think that was like when we were so fresh and green to the scene.
We was first coming.
And
you guys were like a week before me.
Exactly. So that week they lit us up.
They said so. When in Rome says, "How was gassing in the wrong direction when all their men did?" The thing is the fact that we are like women are strong. We have discernment and we're able to reason. So when we decide literally to look past obvious things and then just sit on a live and talk about how men did us wrong, you literally will be back in the same place within 6 months because all of the onus is on the other person. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly what they said. I think they you know, there was some accountability there, and recognizing that you do have to teach people how to treat you, you know, blah, blah, blah. But you also have to look inside and be like, why did I want this person? Why did my energy attract their energy? What did I do wrong? Outside of allowing them to treat me bogus. I feel like that is the conversation that people need to have. And only accountability I hear is you have to let, you know, you have to teach dudes how to treat you. That's true. But also, why did you attract this person? Why did you so desperately need this person? And why did you allow that in your life when they weren't? It's not like Jackal, Mr. Hyde. I mean, Jason was obvious. He was faking Bible verses. I don't like, it was obvious. In Vernisha's situation, I feel like that was a more complicated situation. I think he did more bait and switch. I understand how she ended up there, and I feel like she cut him off a lot quicker than the rest. So I don't really have much to say about what she did. But and then don't get me on the 3 baby mama situation with Aisha. So I just
but I've already said too much. No, definitely. Jason was so in the face. Like, I don't know. I mean, I think people were just so against Kyra that they was just like, okay, we just go ahead, Jason with Liz. Like, but why? Why would you do Liz like that?
Why would Liz, a powerful business owner, beautiful, God-fearing individual, want Jason?
When he brought them white flowers and said the only people I gave them to was 2 of my mamas, my mama 1 and mama 2. Okay, you ain't gave a girlfriend no flowers, and you couldn't give me no other color than the white ones and stuff. And you want to talk?
And he was engaged, and he didn't give his fiance them flowers.
There's all kind of different colors for different things. You got pink flowers, you got yellow flowers, you got, you know, like the ombre colored flowers. You don't have to give red. And if you did, you could just give 1. But you brought a whole bunch of white. And I get that people want to be, oh, that's purity and stuff. No, if you gave them 2 things to your mama and your stepmama, you're looking at me like a mama. You ain't looking at me nothing more than that. That's how that's just how I'm going to take it. She could take it how she wanted to take it. She took it how she took it. And here we are. He don't want to look at her face. which I would still not admit ever.
That's just such, and I'm really not even surprised that he said that, because that's the comment that someone makes when they didn't want you to begin with, settled for you, then tried to do us against the world, and then did that as long as they could, and then realized that, okay, now us against the world, now we actually have to deal with each other, and I didn't want you to begin with. But
Well, yeah.
some people, didn't want to believe that. I'm just saying, I said on the
You're better
live.
than me though, because the petty in me would have said, I couldn't stand looking at your teeth, but that's just the petty in me. So, she better, like, I wasn't in that relationship, so I don't have to worry about saying that to him. No matter how, if I feel like that right now still. But yeah, anyways. So back to the show. Who do we think we was getting eliminated?
It's Tori. We don't need to talk about that. We know Tori leaving.
I think it's Tori.
And in true form, Sabrina, that's why she was nominated to be the one to lay down the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
The drama of it all.
So why did she have to be so dramatic about it? Like, please step forward.
Like she thinks she's on The Bachelor. She
or
thought
like America's Next Top Model,
with all that foolishness.
That is so extra. Like, please step forward.
He ain't got nothing else better to do.
That's too much.
I'm just like, you already friend zoned the man, so it should be so easy. Just be like, all right, bye.
Is it just me, or did the show give Tori gray hair? Did he have gray hair in the beginning of the show? Because I swear I saw gray hair at the end, and I don't remember seeing that. I'm like, I think this show done gave this man gray hair.
It was Sabrina that gave him them gray hairs, chasing and running behind her.
Aging like a president in office.
Mm-hmm.
He aging like Obama did during he was in office. That gray hair and I'm like, where did that come from? What did y'all do to this man? What did y'all do to him?
Stressed him all the way out.
It's y'all women and Sabrina.
Not y'all women.
Well, you talk about us men all the time.
Is that why you cut off all your hair shine so we can't see them grays?
Yeah, exactly. I get a little henna and dye the beard hair to keep myself feeling young.
Keep us in
y'all get my man's bogus. He did not have gray hair when he first started the process. I don't know what's going on.
That was editing, because everything is editing. So that was editing.
They edited him some gray hairs up there.
I hear one more of them tell me about editing again. I'm like, Lord help me.
That's the other thing we need to recap, other than this episode, that live that I suffered through. With
That's your fault for watching all that.
I didn't sit through it. I saw it and was like,
oh my
God.
God.
That same Women's Empowerment panel you talking about?
No. Yeah. Well, you being funny?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Tina.
Oh, that's been taken down.
Well, for a different reason, not for the reason I'm talking about.
No.
I got confused with that. I got confused with that live. I was at work, so I stumbled through it, but I got confused. So I
didn't watch it all, unfortunately.
I didn't.
Because I was just trying to figure out, low key, you're still on the show, so how are you on here? So you just really being all kind of dismissive to your process.
Well, clearly Tina does what Tina wants to do.
I ain't mad, you know what I'm saying? Because shoot, sometimes it be like that. Shoot, if y'all not paying me the money that I need to be here. I'm making more somewhere else. I might be doing what I want to do too, but
Crystal, it's a live with Kojo interviewed Tina. It's not up anymore.
It's probably
it'll probably be back up later, but yeah.
I mean, I was just hearing all kind of different things. I mean, from she was upstairs while they were at the retreat. She was actually there, and she was upstairs, and
what?
I'm like, what? So what? I'm confused. I don't know. You weren't there. You showed up the next day. Oh, you got y'all in solidarity, huh, Trey Mac?
That's it.
You can get distressed with him.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she was there. Anytime you get on a live before you've even officially left the show and you doing all that cursing and rah-rah like this ain't a good godly channel, what the hell? And then,
what the hell afterwards?
Right. You cursing down the Kojo's channel. The F is wrong with you. Read the room. Why are you doing that?
Child, I was all kind of confused by that live. Everything was toxic. every 5 seconds, this is toxic, that is toxic, the show is toxic, this live is toxic, your interview is toxic.
I told y'all as soon, and everybody was like, no. As soon as she sat up there and she started talking about her ex and her baby daddy and the toxic relationship, I'm like, you toxic. Because those buzzwords, you start throwing them buzzwords around with no qualifiers, and then boom. Once we met her ex, we knew everything we needed to hear. And
first of all, who is this everybody that was saying no to you? Because I'm the one who screamed, it takes 2 people to be toxic.
Oh no, I'm not talking about panelists. I'm talking about
people in the chats. Not our chats, because we love y'all, but other chats.
the commenters that shall remain nameless.
Yeah, I mean, if you're telling me you're running with Shiloh, who darn near framed a man, Zadia, who can't keep her hands to herself. And
they're friends?
That was what she was going on. And then what's his face, who's trying to be somebody's beard? That's just completely ridiculous. So those are your friends.
I gotta get a disclaimer for Seaway on this.
That's my opinion.
Let's put up a banner for her. Seaway's views are her views only and are not those of Another Round JS.
My views only.
Could be thinking them. But we could be thinking them.
I'm just saying what Corey be saying. I'm Corey for tonight. I'm just saying those are those 3 people that you want to be friends with. That's who you're aligning yourself with. Thank God Mumin separated herself from that nonsense, because I'm just like, no thanks.
I was confused when she didn't say Mumin. I said, you don't hang with Mumin, huh? Oh, okay, well, Mumin made it back to the actual real church. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, that live was a bit confusing. I was like, what is happening? Why? Wait, trademark. I don't block anybody, but you might be the first. Don't take solidarity with Sean. No,
not protect black women.
Thank you, because we see where protect black women got us. Got people smacked in the Oscars.
I know we're not going to talk about that.
We are not.
I've been hearing about that all week.
No, we are not.
I watched one more thing on that.
FYI, Sean, we still want y'all to protect black women. That was just an isolated situation.
Just
okay,
not
we
that
definitely
way.
not. Okay, we'll talk about that.
This is not a good year for protected black women appropriately. That's all I can say, because we just been having some incidents after incidents after incidents. Jeez.
Right. Phil tried to protect the black woman. He almost caught a case.
That's what I'm saying.
And y'all, including some of my own panelists on here, definitely blessed me out about that. And I said he should have left. You can't leave her walking. No, you better pick me up if we down. No, you gonna run. You want to run? I'll give you a warning. I tap you in your shoulder. Don't do it.
If I start running, you know how black people
have me caught up in the legal system. No. I told y'all.
I still don't like it. I still don't like it. I still think it's unfortunate that you feel like you have to.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that this brother's name is dragged through the mud when he could have just left her little tail running where she was running. Hey, hello, Charlotte, come back. Hey, listen, I'll be right here when you get to the other side. Thank you, Grace Mercy Save. I would have been like, listen, boo-boo, come from behind that alley now. I'll be yelling her name the whole way. But ain't no way I'm picking you up off your feet. No.
Oh, Sean will leave you to die. Jesus.
Right.
Listen. That ain't the only option. How about you don't run down the alley? How about that?
Catch me outside. How about that? I'm cutting all y'all off. These are the unfiltered thoughts of Shad.
I'm just trying to get to what the people want to hear. The people want to hear about the shenanigans, and they want to hear about this crazy interview. I'm just trying to get the people they want to hear, because I know it didn't bother my week.
It bothered your week, Chad. It bothered us
all. Too much foolishness on the internet.
It's like, sheesh, y'all didn't want to do this on the week off from Ready to Love.
Right. We needed that women's empowerment panel a couple weeks ago.
Man. Oh my goodness, yes. It's been a mess in these streets, these YouTube streets, these live streets, these Oscar streets, these back alley streets.
Right.
It's been a mess. Ooh, 2022, baby. Jeez, I don't know, y'all.
Hopefully they take a break for next season and recalibrate.
Well, being
Well,
that they just
Miami. I
announced
think
it.
they started filming Miami.
Yeah, that being that they just cast it and stuff, we'll have a little break between this, and then we got all these little other shows to keep us occupied right now. So we got The Mess, which is Put a Ring on It.
Wow.
Already.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Very
Mhm.
crazy.
I don't
And
participate with that type of a show.
I can't imagine what a Ready to Love Miami season is going to look like. I know how Miami is, so they're going to have some characters.
It may be better, to be honest. It may be better.
Okay. All right, let's keep hope alive.
I'm hoping that I'm hoping that it'll get some of the first seasons, maybe even the Houston season energy. But I really would like them to go. I know it doesn't help them in the real world after coming out of the show, but I really want them to go back to the resort type.
I love that idea. Yeah.
Or like
I
go
do
to a
too.
regular city. Like even Miami's questionable. Like if they had Ready to Love Pittsburgh, I bet they would have a better show. A Ready to Love Detroit. Like go to a place where everyone there is not trying to
shot.
I ain't gonna get shot. I don't think so. But they need to go somewhere where everyone is not trying to be famous. You keep going to these cities where everyone's trying to be somebody's actor, whatever. I mean, you're gonna get people who want to be on TV. If you do Ready to Love Pittsburgh, no, you know.
Tommy said he trying
But
to see
nobody will watch Ready to Love Pittsburgh. Sorry.
Let's take Ready to Love to the islands. Let's really get down and dirty.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that would
they're
be.
gonna come up off their budget. They can barely get them ladies hair things correctly.
They on the island. They using the locals from the island. Get them out of here.
Okay, everybody gonna get their hair braided.
Wow, that's how you gonna get at the island people, you know.
But
People
that's
come
what they do in the islands. When you go on vacation, all the women get their hair
They
braided.
on vacation. That's not them. The people of the island do not have just their hair in braids, Sean. They have their hair in all kind of style.
But if the cast is going on vacation,
No, the cast not going. I'm saying they taking the whole show to the island and use the people from the island, not bringing people from the United States to the
That
island.
would be interesting because people
Oh, that
date
would be.
differently based on
Mhm.
culture and all of that.
Okay.
So that would be
Yeah,
interesting.
I don't want to bring no Americans to the
yeah,
daggone
I don't
island and
think they
mess
got
up
the
the culture
budget
down
for all
there.
of that. But that sounds
No.
nice. They don't have the budget and production for all of that. They definitely don't.
Or just make the show shorter and put it in like how they did in Houston that time during the pandemic, and make it shorter where even working people can take a leave of absence, like 2 to 3 weeks. You could take a leave of absence for 2 to 3
Mhm.
weeks, and
I'm-
then take it somewhere where we can actually get a real experience. Because
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out how Sean, who sitting here is saying that the man who produced the Oscars, Will Packard and OWN Network, don't have the budget for that. Oh, they got the budget.
Not for this particular show. Because they have a budget. And that's what, when you talk to all the people that come through here about Ready to Love, they talk to you about the budget. How much do they pay these people? Minimally, right? They talk about, they're responsible for up to certain points, their hair and makeup, So when they bring them to that mixer, it's all on them. So clearly there's not a budget that's substantial enough to go to some Caribbean island.
They got a budget that's substantial enough. They just don't. You pick and choose what you want to spend your money on. Food, crafties, and all that stuff. There's production sites that are here that is produced on Paramount things. They're like big time TV shows. You won't eat. You go on their show, you will not eat. You have to go buy your own lunch. But they using their money in other directions. That's all that is. They got the money. They could put the money into going to the island, and they're gonna do the same stuff when they get over there. They ain't gonna do nobody hair or nothing like that. But they'll take the whole production team over there. or hire some people from over
Well,
there.
they need to use their budget. They need to use whatever budget they got to recalibrate, because I don't understand how Love is Blind has way less options, and then you have two married couples. Out of that, all these other shows are producing real marriages. We'll leave Maps alone for right now because it's also a train wreck. But in this show, season after season is producing absolute disaster. So I don't. There's something about it that's not adding up. And this
It lost
DC
its
season, both
authentic.
of them are worse.
It's lost its authentic. I can't say no word.
Authenticity.
That
I
right
do
there.
think the resort concept or them being in one huge house is a great idea. It's a great concept because then everybody can kind of see everybody versus all of these side dates that nobody knows about and all this other stuff. It's like, no, everybody's here, and so we get
Mhm.
to see a lot more, and so it won't be as confusing as when they're not on a resort in the house, where you will see someone who doesn't talk to this particular person or date them on camera, then all of a sudden, oh, we're connected, we have a connection. When did that happen? Right? Because the viewer is confused. So I think it would have there would be a lot less confusion that way. So hopefully they really, like Siwei said, really sit down and think about what's working and what's not working, and listening to the viewers, because it's not working.
And then if done right, they don't have to have so many possibly different camera. I don't know how if they're shooting simultaneously in different locations or not, but if they are, they wouldn't have to have so many different camera crews.
Yeah, maybe cheaper, honestly, to put it on the resort and just limit, shorten the time for the cast people and get people like on The Bachelor and Bachelorette. Because if you put your money on the line and you go on a leave of absence, you're going to be serious or just not have a job. But on the whole, you're going to be way more serious because you literally have taken a leave of absence from your job to find love, instead of what these other people are doing, like Tina not even showing up. That's just making a joke of the entire process. And at a certain point, like, it's not even entertaining enough to not be producing, real love, real couples for me.
Right.
Like, and the fakeness is like agitating. I mean, that's why I don't watch Put a Ring on It at all, because I just feel like the show is way too fake, and you're not going to be wasting my time. If I want to watch a telenovela, if I want to watch some type of scripted television, that I'm going to do that. I'm not going to watch something that's reality. That's not reality for me. So I hope they think about it, but I doubt they will until views stop.
They sure did, Raven. All these grown, tall men, and I mean a bunch of tall men. You gonna give them bunk beds? Quit playing. Quit playing.
Oh, and then right, High Vibe said, and then Donta, is that the correct way to say his name?
Dante.
Child, don't ask me.
No, but they said it's not Dante, right?
It's Dante. We interviewed him. His name is Dante.
It's Dante.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying it wrong through the whole interview, so don't ask me.
Right. So Dante, now it came out that he wants to be an actor.
I don't know how much better the vetting process is going to be because in real life
Where did that come from?
High Vibe
Empowerment panel.
It's a part of both of them.
She was just having verbal diarrhea.
No, because she was reading High Vibes. She was reading this or whatever, and that's what Aisha said, that he wanted to be an actor or whatnot.
No, that's what I'm saying. Aisha was having verbal diarrhea. When somebody is so hurt, they're just saying everything. I mean, like, all right, he's horrible.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how much more the vetting process is going to be. Maybe everybody is not thoroughly vetted. I don't know because I'm not a part of the process, but I don't see how much more you can do. People can disguise themselves for certain things if they need to. Vetting people out is not going to stop them from being a crazy person or a cheater or a liar and all these things like that. Shoot, some people know how to lie good enough on a test. Some people are good test takers. Some people know how to answer psych tests well enough to make you think they're sane, but then do some insane things outside of that. So you can vet them all day, but it's just the same as a dating process. It's not going to be until you get them into that environment and actually see how they are and get to know it. And then it is what it is. So
I also think when you have a show that's not as classy as it could be, a lot of professional people who would be better for the show are not going to sign up. Versus like if you tell your job, I'm going to be on the Bachelorette. Like I can tell my job, I want to be on the Bachelorette, and that's not going to be weird because that is a show that people don't look down upon, really, you know. But if you tell your job you're going to be on Ready to Love, especially in DC where it's all government, those people are not going to be on that show. So I think DC season was even worse because the professional people in DC are all in government, and these government people cannot get on a Ready to Love show and play in their behinds. Like they cannot do that. So what was left was a whole bunch of people who really just weren't serious. So I think if they get out of a place like DC where, you know, there's only like one kind of main industry that all will limit you in being on TV like that, you know, it may get better. Because I think that was also a major problem. And if they would raise the standards, they would get, you know, a higher quality individuals who are not just trying to be actors and actresses.
Well, I can't even say just that too, because shoot, some of them people that's in those government jobs is no better at dating than some of these people we seeing right now. So I mean, it's gonna. I mean, I get what you're saying. See, those people are not going to be looking to do any future acting gigs or
That's
anything
my only
like
point.
that.
I'm not saying they're better or worse than the other people, but at
they
least
go
they
after people that have a social media following because they want to bring attention to the show, because the show really doesn't have the prominence of a Bachelor, because that's a show by people of no color, which is funded by people of no color, which has different budgeting, different marketing, different backing. So we can't do a show necessarily like The Bachelor, you know, and then would we really watch? You know, so there's a lot of things to go that need to be considered behind that. Look, I may not be a top level DC insider, but I'm not going on anybody's reality dating show. I think it doesn't matter the kind of show you have. It does take a certain type of person that is willing to go on a dating show and put themselves out on Front Street. And a lot of those people are attention seeking or people that don't mind that attention. The average regular person just living their life does not want their dating life exposed and put on Front Street on TV. So that's why we also get the extremes of people, because they're willing to take those kind of risks where the average person is not.
I did notice with Kyra's season, though, there was a lot more, I would say, serious. I don't feel like a lot of people from that season, even despite my issues with Jason and all the stuff he did, I feel like a lot of those people from that season were not looking to be actors and actresses. And there was a huge difference. And I think a lot of those people all had stuff to lose, and you could tell by the way they conducted themselves on that show. So I will say I noticed a difference with that. People had real jobs and they were doing real things, and they weren't trying to be IG models and actors and whatever else. But as soon as it got to DC, I think this has been the worst it's gotten.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens in Miami. It could go down more. I'm just saying, we'll see. It can get worse. We don't know yet and stuff. So we'll just hope that Miami maybe either changes up some structure, or, you know, we just get people that are more serious. It's kind of hard to feel like people be more serious in Miami, but, you know, maybe they will find that little bunch of people that actually want to be in a real relationship down there. I just
doubt it. Same club scene, same mess.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, I don't know how, but you know, I'm not a local, I'm a tourist to Miami, so I get a different vibe than just actually living there. So,
well, knowing them, it might not even be Miami. It'll be Fort Lauderdale. Because, you know, they're always whatever town adjacent.
At least we'll have some good views and pools and waters and maybe some yacht parties and something like that to look at. So, you know, we could all virtually take a trip somewhere else if we still stuck on our COVID plane. So, hey, Grace Mercy says South Beach. It ain't gonna get no better at South Beach, baby. Oh,
And
gee.
Antoinette said, what about Alexis Fly and AJ? Yep, they were definitely the exception to what I just said. But I would say overall, it wasn't a whole cast of actors
But
and actresses.
even still, I don't think we see them doing too much of anything right now. I
I mean, it's
mean,
still pretty quiet.
we know, yeah, we know there's always like one or two because there was like Denise in Houston, the resort or whatnot. There's always some of those because they have agents that look out for these type of things for them. So.
Listen, and we see Winter. Winter's going to be on a live. If she don't do nothing else, she's going to be on a live, a panel,
Hey man,
an empowerment event.
I think Winter was actually looking for love though, but she settled for being in the background.
Was she kept going in and out of Jay's room?
Yeah,
She was
that's why
looking
that didn't
for
work out.
something. She found it.
hey man, that's a good looking piece of chocolate. I don't know, late nights I get a little munchies. I don't know.
And look at them now. Another two. They got their YouTube channel. What is it? Failure to miscommunicate or whatever that
Failure
channel
to
is.
communicate.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Well, without them, we wouldn't have nothing here to talk about for like 2.5 hours and stuff. So,
Listen, and that's my original point. It's like we want to be entertained. At the end of the day, the show is set up for entertainment, right? And the people that are going to come on there have to be people that have some level of thick skin, some level of being comfortable, being exposed to a certain degree, and you're going to see more and more. You're going to see more of the extremes of people, and I think that's just par for the course. Hopefully they do a better job of, that we don't see the lies. The lies and the manipulation is kind of like what really disappoints me per se, is when people start lying and misleading people and, not being true and authentic.
Well, maybe if they can I don't know how they would do it, but maybe if they can not treat it so much as a game show, that we would probably get less lies. If they can take it more serious as I'm trying to really find somebody. Hopefully next season they don't eliminate somebody right away, because that would take away a lot of the gameplay. Give them a couple of weeks to get to know each other. I don't care if you put a new rotation in there within that couple of weeks, but just give them a couple of weeks, not just after day one. I can't. Granted, we can dismiss people on day one. We can do that. We can do that in real life, but these people are really trying to look for love. And so sometimes our best shot is not day one. It's maybe day 6, maybe it's day 10. I don't know, but they need a little bit more time. They do need a little bit more time.
I agree. I think a lot of the cast have said that they've asked for that too. And you even see the relief like last week when Tommy was like, nobody gets eliminated this week, because everybody breathed a little bit like, oh, okay, because it's like you're scrambling around and trying to figure out who's leaving when and how to make your top choice and how you can keep the person that you like the most in it. So maybe they changed the name of the show. It shouldn't be Ready to Love. Maybe it's Ready to Date, because that's all they seem to really be doing is dating, right? And even after the show, and even when you see the couples that wound up choosing each other, they were like, oh, we're going to date. So it's not really a love scenario to me. It's more of a dating show. Yeah. And then at the end, once they get off, some of them, try to do the dating thing, and then they realize it doesn't work. So it's not really love. Because how many people are technically still together and in love from this show? Not many.
The only ones that's been after the show, they've got the time to actually get to know each other and do it the real way. I mean, the show does put them in a position to be seen by their potential future and stuff. And some of them happen to be on either the same cast that you were on, or at least a part of the show. But yeah, like you said, it's just more so ready to date around and see where it's at. I just really feel like just give these people a little bit more time to understand the process, and that would stop people from coming in day one just being their best representative. You know, I can come in a little bit more natural, because that's what we see. The people that tend to come in more natural to be the first ones eliminated. But it's like a lot of times those are the best people. Those are the actual ones that look like they were ready to love. When you really get to talk to them in the interviews and all this stuff, it's like, okay, you actually might be more prepared than what we continuously see as we go on. So anyways, we have talked enough about last night's episode. And once again, we have made it a lot more interesting than what it really was. I'm going to go ahead and put my onesie on and dance around the room. Put my doggy in her little onesie, and we're going to be like Laverne and his dog, getting it in on a Joy and Clifton tip. But any last thoughts before we go in and we give Sean the benediction that he does so eloquently? Nothing, Chris? All right.
You mean about Ready to Love specifically?
About whatever. Child.
Well, I just want to say for Ready to Love, I hope that people are just honest with themselves. If your person is there, great. And if they're not, be real about it. It's not just about the game. It's about really building something with someone that you see potential relationship with. So that is my advice. I'm sure no one will take it, but that's my take.
Somebody's listening. Don't worry.
Jay, I think you
are. Shit, I muted myself again. Damn it, y'all. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna stay off of you.
It's the spirit of Kojo, because
right.
he does it all the time.
No, because I was trying to mute, because Bambi over here, she had a nail day, so she being extra right now with snoring while her eyes is open. So, but I was saying, Seaway, you got any final thoughts? Done. You over it? All right, Sean, hit us with the benediction.
Okay. Well, another great night. We appreciate everybody coming through and checking us out. Great panel. Sabrina, Chris Natha, Seaway, Jay coming through. We did a great job tonight and making the most of an episode that really wasn't a whole lot to work with, but we did the best we could with it. I think some of the highlights from this episode, when we think about, listen, it's an age-old expression, but it rings true. Listen, don't cry over spilt milk. Dakia or anybody in that same situation, nobody should have to tell you what to do. If you ask a question, you don't get the answer, there's your answer. Unfortunately, it wasn't what she wanted to hear, but sometimes we got to be willing to see the writing on the wall, and don't cry on over spilled milk. Just keep moving, keep pushing. Your love match is out there, and don't worry about onesies. Onesies will come and they will go. Onesies don't dictate life. When it comes to Tori, we're so glad that he was set free. I feel my heart goes out to the brother. I just think about Ralph Tresvant and Carl Thomas. Every time I think about him, listen, it's a sensitive brother. Ladies, please, you see us good guys out here. You see the guys that are sensitive, they're leading with their heart. They're telling you how they feel. Please, please don't cast these brothers aside. Don't put them in a friend zone. Don't break in case of emergency. Give them a shot. He'll treat you right. We'll treat you right, us good guys. I don't know if I'm a good guy. That you got to ask who I've been with. But then I would say, looks like we got love brewing with Joy and Clifton. We've got multiple options for Carmen. Let's see what she does. I think we've done some great legal research. So thank you, Seaway. Thank you, Jay, for doing the breakdown on Donovan. He was divorced. Please, he's been divorced for a year. Ladies, he's ready. Don't tell this man he is not ready to love, because he's ready. All right? Don't get him going on IG tonight, because I didn't say it, okay? We don't want to get him going. So he is ready. And Sabrina, please, Sabrina, are you whooping Panub in all the wrong places, Sabrina? Have you expanded your options to see who's really out there? Are you and are we always going for a type, or do we go for who's going to treat us the best? And I'll end it there.
Before we totally close out, Chris and Shad, you guys see Way? I know she's just wherever she pops out on one of these channels and stuff, but you guys got anything you want to promote? Tell the people to find you.
I'm sure. I have a YouTube channel. It's called Chris Natha TV. So go and check it out. Subscribe. Also, I am on Instagram at Chris Natha. I'm the only one. And I'm on Facebook at Chris Natha DeRozier. So follow me, get connected, and stay updated with all the cool things that I have coming up. So thank you.
Thank you. Sean, anything for the people?
You can find me here on another round, and you can find me on my IG, Sean Davis 120, and my YouTube channel, Sean Unfiltered, which I'm not going to make any more promises of when I'm coming up with content because they have yet to come into fruition. So
just click that bell notification button, and if it pop up, you got them. That's it. Go over there, subscribe. See Way. You don't want the people to find you? Okay, y'all can find her in the legal court system somewhere near you.
I mean, if you want to follow me on TikTok, it's MRSDIOR22. MRSDIOR22. It's Mrs. Dior 22. I'm gonna be doing more on TikTok because I love TikTok. But and then I'm the same on Instagram, Mrs. Dior 22.
And y'all make sure if y'all following C-Way, y'all got y'all Peloton ready because she's gonna have y'all on a workout plan real quick.
Yeah. So if you want to keep up with me for some Pelly stuff, just general rants when I decide to do it, then you can follow me there. But that's about it.
Hey guys, it has been another great conversation. Do me a solid favor. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Click that bell button. And if you're watching this on the replay, don't be afraid to leave a comment. We like the banter. We like the difference of opinions. It gives us more food for thought. So if you don't agree with something you said, go ahead and put it down there. We're going to read it. It is what it is. I might not agree, but we're going to read it. No. Anyways, you guys stay blessed. Have a good night. Ciao.